Hello, dear DSC candidates. Welcome back to my Grammar for Success channel. I am Koresh Babu, a retired lecturer in English from Hyderabad. In today's video, I am going to give you multiple choice questions framed on the road not taken, daffodils, and the earthen goblet. As a matter of fact, these multiple choice questions were supposed to have been given at the end of each and every poem I taught in the past. Okay, but at the time I could not do it, and therefore I am now giving all those multiple choice questions at one place. What you have to do is you have to just answer all these questions on your own. I am not going to help you in any manner. So I am just providing you with the questions. After that, some answers are also provided. You check your answers with my answers at the end of each poem. Okay, so that's why I request all of you to watch this video till the end without skipping it in the middle. And I also request all of you to consider subscribing to my channel and also sharing this video with all your near and dear ones that are going to take the DSC examination. Thank you so much. Now let's get into the video. Multiple choice questions. Okay, and here daffodils. This poem was taught to you long ago. So here daffodils, written by William Wordsworth. And let us look at the questions given. Okay, they are the expected questions in your DSC examination. So all these questions are prepared from your DSC examination point of view. Okay, and here, who is the poet of the poem Daffodils? 4 options are given. Out of these options, you have to choose the correct one. Of course, here it is very easy to answer, but in the examination, it will be very difficult because you will be confused. Okay, you will be in a confused state in the examination hall. Therefore, this is very simple question in the examination hall will become very tough for you, and you will be confused because the names are there. John Keats is given, William Wordsworth, Robert Frost, P.B. Shelley. So all these names you have learnt, and you then get confused. Okay, maybe P.B. Shelley, Robert Frost, John Keats, who must be the poet of this poem? So you suddenly cannot remember. Of course you know that, but you get confused in the examination hall and you may not be able to answer it correctly. So don't get confused in the examination hall. Now here you know the answer, and therefore I am going to the next question. What is that? What is the alternate title of the poem Daffodils? This point also I have dealt with in that video made on daffodils. Okay, and the daffodil dance. I wandered lonely as a cloud. The daffodil meadow. The golden daffodils. So these are the 4 options, and you have to choose the right one. Okay, and now you go to the other questions. Third question is there. How many daffodils does the poet mention seeing in the poem? That you know very well. And here you pay attention. Hundreds, thousands, 10,000, a million. What is the right option? You know that very well. You go to the next question. Where does the poet first see the daffodils? Where did he see the daffodils first of all? So here you pay attention. By a river, on a mountain, beside a lake, in a garden. So the right option you have to choose. Right. These are all very simple questions, but sometimes they turn into difficult questions. Okay. Now you go to other questions. What does the poet compare the daffodils to? What does it compare the daffodils to? So stars, birds, butterflies, snowflakes. So you know the answer. Okay, you have to choose the right answer. Very simple. What kind of mood is the poet in at the beginning of the poem? At the beginning of the poem, the poet's mood is like this. How? Happy, lonely, angry, excited. Out of these 4 options, you have to choose the correct one. Right. Let's go to other questions. What effect do the daffodils have on the poet? What effect do the daffodils have on the mind of the poet? So they make him tired, they make him angry, they make him happy, they make him indifferent. So what is the impact of these daffodils on the mind of this poet William Wordsworth. Right. You go to the next question. What does the poet compare his loneliness to? So he compares his loneliness to something else. What is that something else? Okay, here options are given: a wandering cloud, a lonely star, a flowing river, a singing bird. So what does he compare his loneliness to? Okay, out of these four options, you have to choose the right one. You go to other questions. How does the poet describe the movement of the daffodils? How was the movement of the daffodils? Tossing their heads in the sprightly breeze. Something is there. So tossing their heads. So here, floating in the breeze, dancing in the breeze, singing in the breeze, swaying in the breeze. I have already tossing in the little breeze. Tossing means, this is called tossing. And where is that answer? You choose the right one. And the 10th one, what does the poet say? Happiness to his heart when he sees the daffodils. What does the poet say? Happiness to his heart. What is that which is happiness to his heart? Okay, here it fills with joy. It becomes heavy. It starts to ache. It becomes indifferent. What is the right answer? You have to choose there. Now we go to other questions. In what form is the poem Daffodils written? In what form is the poem Daffodils written? Daffodils, sonnet. Is it a sonnet? Is it a haiku? Is it a lyric poem? Is it a ballad? You know that very well. Okay. How many stanzas does the poem Daffodils have? These are all very simple and easy questions. The answer to them is very easy. Right here you see that 2 stanzas, 3 stanzas, 4 stanzas, 5 stanzas. You know that answer pretty well. So I need not tell you that. And all these things you know very well. That's why you check up whether you know all these answers or not. If you are well aware of all these answers, that's good on your part. You are going to get selected in the DSC. Okay. And now let's move on to look at the other questions. 13th one. What does the poet remember when he lies on his couch? When the poet lies on his couch means bed, what does he remember? So here are given 4 options. The daffodils, his childhood, his lost love, the mountains. What does he remember when he lies on his bed? You know that very well. Go to the 14th one. What does the poet refer to the daffodils as in the 3rd stanza? What does he refer to the daffodils as in the 3rd stanza? In the 3rd stanza, he refers the golden daffodils to something. What is that something? Let us see that here. A host, a crowd, a company, a band. So you know the answer according to the poem. One of them is the right one. Okay. And now we go to other questions. What impact does the memory of the daffodils have on the poet? What impact? What influence on the mind of the poet? What kind of impact do the daffodils throw on the mind of the poet? So here, it brings him peace, it makes him sad, it leaves him indifferent, it makes him anxious. What is the right answer? You just choose it. Right. Go to the 16th one. The poet describes the daffodils as fluttering and dancing in the dash. Fluttering and dancing dash. What should be used in this blank? Okay, here in the field or in the wind or in the sun or in the breeze. Field, wind, sun, breeze. What is the correct word to be used here? That you know very well, and you can choose it as your answer. Right. And now we go to other questions. 17th one. What does the poet use to describe the waves beside the daffodils? What does the poet use to describe the waves? How? So here, dancing, playing, sparkling, singing. So the poet used to describe the waves. Waves are also described. How are the waves described? Dancing, playing, sparkling, singing. Okay, right. And 18th one. What does the poet feel a part of when he sees the daffodils? What does the poet feel a part of? What does he feel a part of? Okay, a part of the universe, a part of a greater whole, a part of the earth, a part of nature. What should be your answer in these 4 options? Okay, and now we go to look at the last questions under this poem. What fills the poet's heart when he sees the daffodils? What fills the poet's heart when he sees the daffodils. What happens when he finds the golden daffodils beside the lake? Here you know very well. Tranquility, peace, joy, sadness. What does he find on seeing the golden daffodils? Okay, you know that answer. And last question under this poem is, okay, what literary device is predominantly used in daffodils? What literary device is used? So here options are simile, metaphor, alliteration, hyperbole. What is used in this poem predominantly? That means, you know, exclusively. Of course, other devices, literary devices are also used, but what is predominantly used? Comparatively, many times. Okay, right. So here you know that answer. So under the poem Daffodils, 20 bits are given. They are very, very important from your examination point of view. Try to answer all of them. If you cannot answer any one of them, please refer to the answers given at the end of these questions. Okay, you can just check your answers with these answers. Answers are given. You can check your answers with these answers. If you are right, it's well and good. Otherwise, you just think of that answer. Okay, and these are the 10 answers from 11 to 20. So 1 to 10, 10 to 11 to 20. So all the 20 answers are given here. Now let's move on to learn the multiple choice questions given under another poem, The Road Not Taken. Okay, The Road Not Taken is there. Robert Frost. This poem was written by Robert Frost. And here, who is the poet of the poem, The Road Not Taken? Remember one very important thing. So this kind of question is just common in almost all the examinations. So especially in our DSC examination, this kind of question is frequent and very common. Okay, who is the poet of the poem? Who is the writer of the lesson? Something like that. They will definitely pose a question on this. So here answering this question is very easy. But in the examination hall, it will become a little bit difficult because you will be in a very confused state. Okay, right. So who is the poet of the poem The Road Not Taken? Walt Whitman, Robert Frost, Emily Dickinson, Langston Hughes. Langston Hughes, right. So here, you know, when these options are given, candidates are very likely to get confused, right. What is the main theme? On theme also questions are frequently given. Therefore, you write all the titles of the poems on one side, and on the other side you write the themes of those poems. So where the mind is without fear, what is the theme of that? And Daffodils, what is the theme of that? Road Not Taken, what is the theme of that? So on one side the titles of the poems, and on the other side the themes of the poem. If you can keep all these things at one place, you know, you can easily remember, because one question is going to be given surely or definitely on these themes, and on the names of the poets, on the themes of the poems you will be given. Okay, one question is guaranteed, right. And what are the options given here? Love, nature, choices and decisions, war. So these are the options given. You know the correct answer, you choose it, right. Now we move on to learn other questions. How many roads does the speaker encounter in the woods? Okay, you know very well. 1, 2, 3, 4, right. In which season is the poem set? So there is a word given in the poem. Woods are pale woods or yellow woods is given. Yellow. When do the trees turn yellow? When do the leaves turn yellow? That point I made clear in that poem. You please refer to that video, The Road Not Taken. Okay. I made a video on the poem The Road Not Taken. You please watch it again so that you can answer all these questions correctly. Right. In which season is the poem set? Spring, summer, autumn, winter. On that day also I taught you about all these seasons. Spring season, summer season, autumn season, winter. These are the 4 seasons according to the English calendar. On that day also I told you about this, right. And now we move on to other questions. 5th question. What does the speaker regret in the poem? What does the poet regret? That means what is that thing about which the poet regrets? That's the meaning, right. And what does he regret? Not taking the first road, not seeing the woods, not being able to travel both the roads, not having a companion. What does he regret? What does he regret about? Okay, that's that. What color is the wood in the poem? Wood means wood is correct. Wood is also correct. Wood means a small forest. Wood is also a small forest. And wood has another meaning. Wood means firewood. Wood means wood with which you make tables, benches, and all furniture. Wood has that meaning. Wood ante kalra kalapa. Wood means adavi. So two meanings are there. So what color is the wood in the poem? So green, yellow, brown, red. You know the right answer. Okay. And now let's move on to look at the other questions. What is the poet's initial reaction to the two roads? What is his initial reaction? Indifference, confusion, hesitation, excitement. What kind of reaction did the poet show? Clear, very simple questions. Okay. What does the speaker predict he will do in the future? What does he say that he will do in the future? Forget the decision, regret the choice, tell the story with a sigh, take the road again. What does he want to do in the future? Okay, right. Now you go to other questions. Ninth question. What does the speaker ultimately decide to do? What does he ultimately decide to do? Take the road more traveled by, take the road less traveled by, stand still, turn back, go back. You know the correct answer. 10th question. What does the speaker find when he looks down the first road? He looks at the first road. He looks at the second road. So after looking at these two roads, he decides to take one road that is less traveled. You know that very well. You know the meaning of that. What does the speaker find when he looks down the first road? But when he looked at the first road, what did he find? It is grassy and wanted wear. It is worn and barren. It bends in the undergrowth. It takes a turn into some undergrowth. Undergrowth means, I told you about that undergrowth. Shrubbery, podalu, something like that. As like that, undergrowth. It leads to a village. You know that very well. Okay, now let's go to other questions. How does the speaker describe the road he eventually takes? How does the speaker describe the road he eventually takes? How does he describe? Does he say anything about the road he has taken up? Less traveled, well worn, covered in leaves, paved with stones. What does he say? How does he describe the road that he has taken up? He says something. Okay, you go to the next question. What is the significance of the roads in the poem? What is the figurative meaning of the roads in that poem? Roads means actual roads that you know very well. But in the poem, what is the figurative meaning? Literal meaning, you know very well. Roads means roads. Figurative meaning, what is that? Right. So here they represent actual paths in the woods. Okay. They symbolize life's choices. They indicate different destinations. They signify travel and adventure. So what is the correct choice, correct option? You have to choose from out of these four options given. Okay. And now let's move on to look at other questions. 13th question. What does the speaker doubt in the poem? What does he doubt in the poem? If he made the right chance, that means if he made, whether he made the right choice, if he will ever come back, whether he will ever come back, whether he will remember the path, whether I should have given whether instead of if. You might be getting confused. Okay, right. Anyway, if means whether he will remember the path, whether the roads will change. What kind of doubt does he have in his mind? Okay. What is the tone of the poem? Yes, on the tone of the poem also, every time one question is generally asked. Okay, therefore you write all the titles of the poems on one side and all the tones of the poems on the other side. Where the mind is without fear. What is the tone of that? Daffodils, what is the tone of the poem? The earthen goblet, what is the tone of the poem? Palanquin bearers, what is the tone of the poem? So on one side all the titles of the poems, on the other side all the tones of the poems. So then they look like a ready reckoner. Okay. So in this way, on the names of the poets, on the themes of the poems, on the tones of the poems, please prepare a chart like this, a ready reckoner. Okay. And you can immediately remember that. Okay. The tone of the poem, the road not taken, is what? Joyful, melancholic, regretful, reflective. What is that? You have to decide that. Okay, and now you go to other questions. What does the speaker predict about his choice in the last stanza? What does he predict about his choice? It will make all the difference. It will be forgotten. It will lead to success. It will be a mistake. What did he say about his decision in the last stanza? Right. So one of them is going to be the correct answer. Please choose that correct answer. Right. You go to the next question. Which literary device is predominantly used in the poem? Again, so this is also going to be, literary devices are also going to be very important questions in your examination, right? So what literary device is used predominantly means metaphor, simile, alliteration, hyperbole. So you have to choose the right one. Okay, right. Now we go to other questions. How does the speaker feel about his choice at the end of the poem? How does he feel? What was his reaction about the decision he has taken at the end of the poem? Happy, confused, content, uncertain about his decision or choice. So how was he? What was his reaction? Whether he was happy or confused or content or uncertain. So here you have to choose the right option. You go to other questions. What does the speaker hope to convey by sharing his experience? What does he hope to convey? What does he hope to convey? The importance of adventure, the impact of decisions, the beauty of nature, the need for companionship. What is the poet going to convey through his decision, through his experience? Okay, right. Now we go to other questions. 19th one, last but one. How does the speaker describe the two roads in terms of their wear? In terms of their wear means in the times of their use. Wear means, in other words, use. Right. Here, one is grassy and wanted wear, the other is well trodden. Both are equally worn. One is paved, the other is muddy. One is overgrown, the other is clear. What is the right option, or what is the answer? You have to, correct option, you have to choose it from these options. Right. And the last question here is, what does the phrase "way leads to way" suggest? What does it suggest? Way leads to way. That means if you are going along one road, that one road, joins another road, another road, another road, another road, another road. So here in the US, one road definitely leads to another road. So you can find all roads, and in the USA, transport facility is the best one, and it is the most important one for the development, financial or economic development of this country, I think. So wherever you go, you find beautiful roads. For that, we must appreciate America for one or two important things. For other things, we don't appreciate America. Right. Okay. Yes. What does the phrase "way leads on to way" means? Life is a series of choices. Paths are interconnected. Decisions are irreversible. Roads are long and winding. So, what is the meaning of this? What does it suggest? So, in all these things you know pretty well. Okay, dear DSC candidates, please try to answer all these questions. If you cannot answer any of these questions, please refer to the answers that are given at the end of these questions. Okay, all the 20 answers are given. You can just check up your answer with those answers, and you can understand whether you are right or wrong. Even then, if you have any problem, if you have any doubt, please text me your doubt on my WhatsApp number, or you can call me. Okay, but remember one thing: your day, that means day in India is a night in the USA, and night in India is a day in the USA. Please, quite opposite. Okay, please keep these timings and then you call me. Right. And let us now look at the answers. Okay, answers are given. Here you pay attention. These are all the answers, 10 answers. Okay, take a screenshot of them. Right. And 11 to 20. These are the 1 to 10, 11 to 20. All the 20 answers for 20 multiple choice questions are given here. You can check up your answers with these answers and find and see whether you are correct or wrong. Okay, now we are going to learn about the multiple choice questions given under the Earthen Goblet. Okay, that poem was also taught to you. Okay, and you know very well about that poem written by Harindranath Chattopadhyaya. So please, if you know the meaning of that poem, if you have seen my video made on that poem, you can easily answer all these questions. Come on, let's go on. The Earthen Goblet, Harindranath Chattopadhyaya. Okay, and here, who is the poet of the poem The Earthen Goblet? So here it is very easy, but in the examination it is somewhat difficult for you because you will be in a confused state. That's the reason. And here, second one, what does the goblet symbolize in the poem? What does it symbolize? That means, what does the goblet stand for? Okay, here, happiness, freedom, transformation, wealth. You know the answer. You can easily tick the right one. Right. So, third question is here. In the poem, what is the goblet's response to the poet's questions? Okay, and here, silence, indifference, melancholy or anger. What is the goblet's response to the poet's questions? So, you know the answer. What was the goblet before it was shaped by the potter? Before this goblet was shaped into a goblet, what was its earlier form? What was its earlier form? A lump of clay, a stone, a piece of wood, a metal sheet. What was it? What was its earlier form? Okay, so you can easily answer these questions. Now we go to other questions. What does the goblet lose in the process of transformation? What has it lost in the process of transformation? So here, its color, its shape, its freedom, its fragrance. What has it lost? Okay, in the process of transformation, that is there. Okay, you go to the sixth question. Who is responsible for the transformation of the goblet? Who is responsible for the transformation of the goblet? Here, the poet, the potter, the goblet itself, nature. Okay, now we go to other questions. The seventh question is, what does the goblet reminisce about its past life? Reminisce means what? Reminisce means remember. Okay, it is remember. Okay, it means remember. What does the goblet remember about its past life? What does it remember about its past life? Here are given 4 options. You have to choose the right one. Being a part of a mountain, being a part, being a part of a mountain, being a flower in a garden, being a lump of earth in a meadow, being a part of the ocean. What is the relevant and right answer? You have to choose there. What emotions does the goblet express about its current state? Okay, what emotions, what feelings does the goblet express about its current state? Okay, here you pay attention. Pride, okay, joy, sorrow or confusion. Which emotion does the goblet express about its present? Current means present state of form. Okay, present state or present form. Right. And now we move to other questions. Right. And the 9th question. What does the poem The Earthen Goblet explore? What does it explore? Okay, the journey of life, the relationship between humans and nature, the process of creation and transformation, the beauty of art. So these are the 4 options. You have to choose the right one. You go to the next one. How does the goblet view its life as a lump of clay compared to its current state? Current state is what? Goblet state. And the earlier state is lump of clay. Which is better? What does the goblet view of these 2 forms of this goblet? Okay, one is the lump of clay, matti mudda, and the other one is goblet. And how does this goblet view these 2 shapes and 2 forms? Okay, that is the meaning of that question. More fulfilling, less significant, equally important, more trivial. Okay, this is, these are the 4 options. You have to choose the right one. You go to the other questions. 11th one. What literary device is primarily used in the earthen goblet? Okay, metaphor, simile, personification, hyperbole. Please watch that video made on the earthen goblet. Please, then you can understand what used predominantly in that poem. Right. And what does the goblet regret losing the most? What does the goblet regret losing the most? So its original form, its connection to nature, its purpose and its color. So very interesting questions are given here for your convenience, because they are very, very important from your examination point of view. So that's why I have framed all of them in that way. Now we move on to other questions. What is the primary theme of the earthen goblet? What is the theme? Primary theme, main theme, whatever it is. Some descriptive words are being used to you can say elevate this theme. So here, what is that? The beauty of nature, the inevitability of change, the joy of creation, the importance of freedom. So what is the main theme of this earthen goblet? Please try to answer this question. And here, how does the poet feel about the goblet's transformation? How does the poet feel about the goblet's transformation? What was the feeling of this poet? What was the feeling of the poet about goblet's transformation? And here, proud. Is the poet proud of the goblet's transformation? Curious, indifferent, disappointed? What? Let us see that here. Okay, and we go to other questions. What does the goblet's transformation symbolize? What does that transformation? Transformation means change from one shape to another shape is called transformation, right? And what does it symbolize? So here, personal growth, artistic expression, loss of innocence, nature's cycle. What is the goblet's transformation symbolize? Is it nature's cycle? No. So you know the answer. You can choose that right one. And the 16th one, how does the poem, The Earthen Goblet, end? End means come to an end. Okay. And here, with a sense of hope, with a resolution, with the goblet's acceptance of its fate, with the goblet's continued lament. How does this poem end or come to an end? Right. So now we go to other questions. 17th one, what does the goblet say it has been deprived of? What does the goblet say it has been deprived of? What has the goblet been deprived of? Means taken away, taken out. So here, sunshine and air, its original essence, love and care, artistic value. What has the goblet been deprived of, taken away from? Okay. You know the answers. And the 18th one, how does the goblet perceive its beauty? Perceive means see its beauty, mentally see its beauty. How? As an enhancement, as a loss, as a gift, as a curse. How does this goblet look at its beauty? As an enhancement, as a loss, as a gift, as a curse. So you understand the question, and you can easily answer this question. Now we go to the last questions. What is the tone of the poem? Already I have been telling you about this. What the tones of the poems are very, very important. Themes of the poems are very, very important. Writers or poets of the poems are very, very important. Please write them all on a piece of paper and keep them with you. And they are all very, very important. Right. What is the tone of the poem, The Earthen Goblet? Okay, joyful, nostalgic. Nostalgic means remembering the past life. That's called nostalgic. Okay, angry, resigned. You know that very well. And the last question is, what does the goblet miss about its previous existence? Okay, what does the goblet miss about its previous existence? Its shape, its simplicity, its natural state, its purpose. What has it lost? Okay, that was in its previous existence. Whatever was in its previous existence, it has lost. What is that which has been lost by this goblet? So out of these four options, one is the correct one. You can do that. Now look at the answers. Okay, for all these 20 bits answers. What are the answers? 1 to 10 are given on this slide, and 11 to 20 are given on this slide. So you are given multiple choice questions with options and answers for all of them. Please, first of all, you try to answer all of them, and then you check your answers with these answers and check how many questions you have made correct and how many questions you have made wrong. All these things you can easily understand. You can assess your knowledge on your own. Okay, that point is there. Dear DSC candidates, thank you so much for watching this video. With another beautiful video, I shall be back to you. Until then, bye. See you, all of you. Right.